I would like to start by saying how satisfied I am about the cooperation between the Commission, the Council and Parliament. Parliament last year set out very clear criteria for the transfer of PNR data to third countries. The Commission then put forward a very good package in line with those criteria, and the Council very swiftly adopted a negotiating mandate. I think this example demonstrates that if the three institutions work together, Europe is a force to be reckoned with. I would also like to thank the shadow rapporteurs Axel Voss, Birgit Sippel, Timothy Kirkhope, Jan Albrecht, Rui Tavares and more recently Cornelia Ernst. Because even if we do not agree on every single detail, I think the PNR team, if I may say so, has worked in a very constructive spirit. As a rapporteur, I recommend in my draft report that this House gives its consent to the conclusion of an agreement with Australia on the transfer of PNR data. I think the recommendation will get large support and I am very happy for that. However, that does not mean that all concerns and reservations have been met. There are still some doubts and hesitations. And for this reason, some groups in this House will withhold their vote or vote against. And I fully understand their objections and I share most of their concerns. However, they know as well as I do that a no vote will not stop the transfer of data. We do not vote on the actual transfer, we can only vote on the conditions governing the transfer of data. A no vote, therefore, is purely symbolical. For that reason too, I will not endorse the call of the GUE group for a consultation of the European Court of Justice, although I have great sympathy for the proposal. We have assessed the draft agreement against the criteria that we set out last year. And we give a positive assessment on a number of points, in particular the limitation of the purpose definition. It has been considerably tightened and it includes only the fight against terrorism and serious transnational crime, and I think that is a very important achievement. We have also achieved that the method of transfer will be push exclusively. That is very important also in view of future agreements. And there are some other positive points. However, there are also a couple of remaining concerns, as I said initially. The most fundamental point being that the necessity and proportionality of the mass collection and storage of data has been demonstrated only partially and not sufficiently. Secondly, no justification has been given for the long term storage of identifiable data of all travellers. The retention period of 5.5 years appears to be fairly random and has not been based on any specific evidence. And finally, the appropriate legal basis for the agreement should be, or in any case include, Article 16 of the treaties on data protection. The purpose of the agreements has been from the very start, if you retrace the history of these agreements back to 2003, the purpose of the agreement is exclusively to ensure that the transfer of data to third countries is in line with EU data protection standards. And therefore the only proper legal base can be Article 16 and nothing else. Because if the purpose were exclusively police and justice cooperation, then the EU could theoretically decide against the collection of PNR data by Australia. But it cannot, because it is a sovereign and unilateral decision by Australia to collect these data. Now, finally, I will conclude quickly. We need the political assurance by the European Commission that the agreement remains the joint responsibility of the three EU institutions, each with its own role. And if the European Parliament in future notes serious deficiencies in the application of the agreement, we expect the Commission to respond and to take appropriate action. If necessary, even proposals for the suspension or termination of the agreement, and I would like to ask the Presidency of this House to see to it that these assurances, as expressed today and noted in the minutes, are confirmed by an exchange of letters with the European Commission. Thank you.